Today I will show you how to improvise and paint flowers using leftovers from your painting.
Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher, book author. Welcome to my studio.
I have two beautiful plates which served me as palettes. I don't know which one to choose. Let's start with this one. This one looks what usually considered to be dirty, and let's see whether I can make something interesting out of this palette. You might have something a little bit smaller. You can apply the same principle. I would like to spray water just to activate paints again. I dilute. I would like to start very light, so I'm picking up some light part of my plate, and then I paint the first petal. To make it simple, I will make the center of the flower in the center of the paper. I can even put a dot. So, and I just paint some shape, really just random shape. What's important that I bring the edges, the ends of the shape to the central point, like this. Now I can switch to another brush and, for example, grab something different. Here I have some mauve, and I can add that mix into my puddle, into my shape. What's always a good idea to do when you paint transparent flowers is to put some accents at the bottom, at the central part of the flower. The rest is just improvising. Let's see what else I have here. Interesting. And something like this. Basically, it's no paint, just applying different colors. And then I can paint another petal. Let's pick up something different, maybe a little bit more bluish. And again, I'm just paint some random shape. It's actually very beautiful colors. Surprise, surprise. And I pick up a bit bolder part. I can also add a little bit of bluish in the previous petal. Let's see how it will work. There was clearly some granulated paints. You can see how it spreads. Might be ultramarine or something else. I can't remember. I like how it's turning out now. I can add a bit more water in both of the petals. Just be brave, let it spread, let it work, and then at some point you will feel that that's enough, and then you just need to dry it completely. So my petals are completely dry now. Look how beautiful this dirty, muddy mix looks when it is a little bit transparent, when we mixed all these different paints I have here. But now let's paint more layers. Let's see what else do I have interesting here. Here is some red touch. I will work with this, not really red. Let's use this one. Just look at your palettes, what you find more interesting to paint, and then I apply another layer. Same principle, some random shape on top. Just whatever feels nice for your hand. And then you can add accents, for example. Yes, let's add some red. Beautiful. Look how beautifully it spreads. And then I have something dark here. Oh, that looks nice. Looks nice. And I can play a bit to send paints to the two different directions, make them work, and add accents. Just Now it's getting a bit difficult because everything is mixing into one big puddle here, but there are ways. I think I can make a lot out of this. I like this red accent, but I think, yes, it's very tempting to add one more. I'll add it here. And I let it spread. Does it look like a flower to you or not yet? Let's dry this petal again. Now let's add one more petal. I think I would like to proceed working with this reddish, dirty red mix. Looks great. I will make next petal a bit smaller. Don't afraid to use a lot of water. You can later on remove all big water drops, as we did already. So first I'm setting up the shape of the petal, pretty freehand, a lot of water. Here I clearly didn't dry nicely, so I just extend a bit this petal like this. Now fun part, let's add color accents. What about something blue? Let's get something blue to the edges. I remember somewhere here was something black, and I will try to find it. If I didn't, then that's fine. Logically, green should be around the bottom, because even on realistic flowers, a lot of connection between stem and bud has green accents. So logically would be nice to add green something around the bottom, but not necessarily. Interesting spot on this top, and I think I will just go with this brownish dusty brown. Was not really what I wanted. Let's try it again. Yes, I wanted something less grayish, more warm and brown. And now let's let it all spread and mix organically. I can even just add drops of water. Don't afraid. In this technique it's very abstract, and if you have some cauliflowers, then it will be just beneficial for this technique. What's important that you have a good paper, 300 grams and 100% cotton. All other types of papers would not hold this water madness. And let's dry it again. The next petal is dry, and here what I was talking about. Here I dried very roughly and created this border, which usually is not welcome, but for this technique, when everything's spontaneous, I think it looks very interesting, and once we gather all the flower all together, it will be really, really nice. There are different types of mud here. A little bit brownish mud, a little bit grayish mud, so pick up whatever you prefer, which mud more interesting, looks more interesting to you today, and go ahead. So one petal, firstly I can set up the shape, and then with big brave brush moves I can correct the shape and pick up some accents. I like very much these red accents here. I'm pretty sure if I would have planned how I can paint nicely a transparent flower, I would not get that result. But when I'm completely in the flow, I just use what I have, improvise, then the result is really interesting and unique in a way. So I hope you can also try this out and appreciate that uniqueness. There is a room for another one, but I think I will just use this one. Everything mixed with everything. What's nice is to try to avoid being symmetrical. I know that it's very tempting to paint similar petals or follow certain rhythms, rhythmic, but try to force yourself. Do every time, every petal in a little bit different way. And right now I would like to pick up first of all something green. I have something green, greenish, difficult to say what kind of, around here. Oh wow, that's nice. Can even add to the first petal. If I have something grayish, I will add something more warm, reddish or brown. And now I have something brown. So I might try to look around. I think I have very bright leftovers of cerulean probably here. I will add it right in here. Usually those videos called how to avoid muddy paint in watercolor, but we are doing just the opposite today. We are appreciating muddy mixes and trying to get the most of that. And I hope this is fun for you, same as it is fun for me. A little bit brown and a little bit of green accent at the logical bottom of the flower, and a bit more. What else I have? Something blue. How many colors, how many paints I used here? Now it's difficult to tell. And now let's try it. Depending on your paper, you can proceed with layers as long as paper allows you to apply layers without disturbing them. But in principle, I think I'm happy with what I see here. One little detail I want to do. I will grab these green leftovers. I will paint a small ovary area at the very bottom, just to connect all these petals together. And usually if we have that big nice flower, it's nice to make stem a little bit more simple. So I have just regular black gel pen and I paint a stem, but with some wiggling moves I can make a bit of a turn and just bring it down. I think that looks awesome. That was the result of reusing the palette, and I think my plate has potential for 10 more flowers like this, and I hope that was inspiring for you as well.
Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope it was fun and I hope it was very inspiring. Please let me know in comments what would you like to paint next. And see you soon. Bye bye.